What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video. And before you get antsy and skip ahead, I've got a few things to say about the draft class that are important information. First of all, if you would like to hit that subscribe button, would be much appreciated. We're on the path to 200,000 subscribers, and this has taken me over 20 hours to input everybody from my notes. We've got accurate ratings, player attributes, appearance, everything like that. Now, if you would like to know how to download the file, you can go ahead and hit the settings icon in the lower right of your screen. We've got the longest loading screens of all time because it flashes across, gives me epileptic seizures. But you go ahead and go to share and manage files. You'll go to download community files. You can also do this within franchise, but you will see my roster 2020 NFL Draft Bengal. It is currently the second most downloaded class. Let's change that. Has to be the number one. Got 11 likes, 2 dislikes. We need to make that get more liked as well. He's got first couple rounds. I've got 7 rounds and some undrafted free agents. And when we break down the class, these are the important things that I have to say, because there are player name like misspellings and some certain things that, again, we'll talk about. So let's go ahead and go into franchise, and I'll show you how to input it there. I said input, I meant import, which is different. You don't have to input anything, just import it. So scouting first pops up at week 3 in franchise, and there are a few things you should know if you are new. You have to have auto scouting turned off for this to even pop up, and then L3 will give you the option to either import your local file. So if you've already downloaded the class, that's where you'll bring it in from, or you can download from the Madden share. Same screen will pop up. You can download my class again. I'm not sure if you can rate it here, but you know, that'd be cool if you could. So you go ahead, you hit download on the file. I've already done it because I've created it on my actual system. Didn't have to download anything. And then this will pop up. You have to scout a player at least a little bit. So like just hit square one time for the class to save. If you don't do anything, the class will not save. So you have to scout them at least a little bit, right? So now on to things about the class as a whole. There are complete position groups finished pretty much, and again, even some undrafted free agents. For example, at quarterback, I went above and beyond. Every single player in there is a real player, and I felt like that was necessary at quarterback. It's just, you know, a more known position. So commonly asked questions: where is this player, where is that player? This is all projection right now, so it's weird with coronavirus, man, but like, you'd assume that most players are going to hold their stock a little bit, but then look at Joe Burrow, right, last year, where he came from not relatively unknown, but from a little bit of a question mark as a graduate transfer. How good is this guy really going to be? To the clear-cut number 1 overall pick. Joe Burrow is one of the best college quarterbacks of all time. To like that level of player. So things could change after a season. I will be updating it accordingly. So if there's where's this player, where's that player, they could already be in there. So make sure you have to re-download the class to get the updates. Classes in this do not update automatically. You have to re-download. There should be a little note like, you know, updated, you know, 9/24 for September 24th, if that's when I were to update it, you know, stuff like that. So you have to be on the lookout for that. Players will be added. Some players may be even taken away. There are spots that I've left for certain position groups, like Kelvin Simmons, undrafted out of Boise State, number 33 running back, is not a real player. But everyone, you know, up to around that point is. Every draftable player in this is a real player. And again, even some of the guys who are not draftable are still real players as well. So this is as deep a class as you're going to find. The ratings, I feel like, are extremely fair and extremely balanced. Inside the top 10 in the draft, I wanted to make sure you were rewarded with a good player, and even farther past that as well. Some colleges are listed as not assessed. It's a glitch in the draft class creator. There's nothing I can do. I import Creed Humphrey as Oklahoma, Wyatt Davis as, I believe, Ohio State. I'm almost positive he's Ohio State. Could be Alabama. I have it in my notes. Of course, you know, it's, you know, some of these players haven't really even played a ton. So Sam Cosme's Texas, Josh Myers is Ohio State, Pat Fryermuth is Penn State. They're popping up as not assessed NA, even though I can assure you they are what they're supposed to be. Like if we go to edit players, I'll edit draft class, and you can change your own ratings if you want. I'm not going to be going over ratings in this video. I want it to be a surprise for you guys. I want you to have that fun drafting. If you know who's the highest overall going in, not really that fun in my opinion. So we're just going over the names, the schools, some of their like scouting grades, but no actual ratings in this video. So I could come back and I'll change it again to Penn State for Pat Freiermuth. Maybe it'll save this time. I can go through, but there's no telling that it will go back and not be glitched for you guys when you download it. So it seems like guys with schools in the OP area are glitched. So like Ohio State, Penn State. I really don't know what the issue is, but it's just something that seems to be happening. A lot of these things I can't control. Another thing I can't control is players who have names that are deemed to be inappropriate or profane in nature. So Rondale Moore, for example, for some reason, Moore is considered profane. I don't know. I have no idea why some of this is happening. It's super frustrating, but I can't add Rondale Moore with his actual name. So if a name has been deemed to be profane, I have added a dash. It's as close as I can get, and I apologize. I wish it were not the case, but it is not my fault. EA is like, Moore, Moore. Yeah, that's inappropriate. Yeah, because more Cox. Like what is going on, man? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, there are some that I can maybe understand a little bit more. So, for example, Malcolm Kuntz, I have to have a dash there because the first 4 letters of his name, if you replace maybe the K with a C, are a little bit racist. Now, that's completely acceptable. I don't really have a huge problem with that. But at the end of the day, it's his actual name, so I've added a dash, and he's a player that I deem to be draft eligible. Kind of have to add him in there. There's another player in here. I believe I have a right outside linebacker then. Moore, again, is not allowed. Where is he? Yeah, Jabril Cox. Cox. Hilarious, dude. Cox. Profane. Because a big, throbbing, hard Jabril Cox. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. Again, there's nothing I can do. So now that we've gotten out of the way that there are some name mistakes, there are some, I say mistakes, but you know, we've explained that. There are some college mistakes where it just takes away the college for no reason, like Alex Leatherwood. Alabama is now not showing up for some reason. It's extremely frustrating, but, you know, I've added all these schools before, and they just go away. So, and it happens for a lot of them, and there's no real fix for it at the moment. But we'll go through and we'll talk about some of these players. So we got Trevor Lawrence, we have Justin Fields. I will also say that this is not a rankings list, so where they rank is not necessarily what their overall is. It doesn't necessarily scale down. So, for example, Jamie Newman could be a 78 overall, could be the highest overall quarterback in the class, but just because he's listed at the 4th quarterback, 2nd round projection, that doesn't mean that it scales down. It doesn't mean that Trevor Lawrence starts at an 80 or something around there, and then Sean Clifford is a 60, and then De'Ara King 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, you know, scaling like something like that. So it doesn't just happen to scale like that. There is variation in the class. The top guy isn't always the highest development. The top guy isn't always the highest overall. Sometimes he is, sometimes he's not. So there is variation in this class. It is extremely deep. You can find gems deep in the draft if they have attributes that could lead to them progressing into being a great player. We don't know what's going to happen in the NFL season right now. It is August 27th. We don't know what's going to happen in the college football season, if there's going to be a college football season for some of these guys. Some conferences are choosing not to play. The SEC, we know, is going to play. The Big 12 probably is going to play. But the Big 10 is canceled right now. Things could change. But right now, that's where we are as I record this video. We got Travis Etienne, Chuba Hubbard, Master Teague, Journey Brown. There are a lot of names you're going to recognize. And it's not like, oh, there's good value for every single position. Some position groups are stronger than others, as it would be in the real draft. So receivers, a position that's extremely deep again this year. Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith is in there. Rondale Moore, of course, Sage Surratt, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chris Olave. Some of the schools are screwing up, but like Charleston Rambo's Oak State, Charleston Rambo's Oklahoma, Tylan Wallace is Oak State. Seth Williams is Auburn, Morgantoria, Florida State. You know, I'm going to try and change those, and hopefully it fixes this time. But, you know, there are players that you're going to recognize. Kyle Pitts, Pat Freiermuth, Brevin Jordan. The offensive line class is interesting. I would say this is a class, at least at tackle, it's a little bit top heavy. Some positions have been changed a little bit to reflect a stronger class. So, like, if it was super strong at left tackle and somebody might project better as a guard, their position might have been moved, or project better as a right tackle, or could potentially play right tackle, their position has been moved. But mainly, right tackles are going to be right tackles, and left tackles are going to be left tackles. You can see some of these guys, and it's frustrating the hell out of me that so many of these schools are listed as not assessed. Really frustrating. Got Gregory Rousseau in there. It's kind of a weaker edge class, I'm not going to lie. So that is reflected in here a little bit. You can see there's only one first-round defensive end, only one first-round right end, so there's 2 overall. But some of those guys are also going to be at outside linebacker. Quincy Roche is a pass rusher. Jason Owe is a pass rusher. Some of these guys are versatile. They can kind of do both. Like Micah Parsons, his archetype is listed as speed rusher, but he's certainly a guy that can play off the ball as well. So there is a lot of versatility. Sometimes the archetype doesn't match what type of player they are in every single case, but it usually does. Cornerback's interesting. We got a bunch of different types here. Usually most of these guys are not zone. They're either slot or man-to-man, but it's a pretty deep corner class. So, take that in mind. Safety's a little bit interesting. Some of these guys could rise quite significantly. Some of these guys could fall. The Pac-12 isn't playing, so, well, you never know what could change. But I think the Pac-12 is not playing. But, I mean, there are a bunch of really good players. The ACC is playing. It'll be interesting to see how the season shapes up, if there is one at all. I know some of it is going to be moved back into the spring they're looking for, but who knows what's going to end up happening with that. So all I can tell you is that I've worked a lot in this class. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to use these guys, so I'm hoping that you guys are really going to like it, really enjoy. Make sure to download, make this the most downloaded class. It is PS4 only. It cannot go to Xbox, it cannot go to PC unless somebody has both consoles and does the work of importing every single attribute, as I did, which took hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. So I don't have an Xbox. I can't put it on Xbox. I don't have Madden on PC. Can't put it on PC. It is PS4 only. There is no cross-platform for the file share. I wish there was, but there isn't. This is what we have to work with. This is what we have. So if you're not on PS4 and you want to use a class, I apologize. Sell your Xbox and buy a PS4. Or wait until PS5. I'm not sure. But, like, those are basically your options. All my friends play an Xbox. Then you can't use a class. Somebody else is going to be on there. Are they going to have 240 players in here the way that I do? It's unlikely, but this is what we have working. I hope you guys enjoy. Again, has taken such a tremendous amount of work, so hitting that subscribe button would help me out tremendously. I appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoy the class, and that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Take it easy.